Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
All right, former Alabama head coach Nick Saban has called the current name, image, and likeness model in college football unsustainable, citing growing financial disparities between programs. He emphasized the need for standardized regulations to ensure fairness, warning that allowing some schools to spend significantly more than others undermines the competitive balance. Saban has taken an active role in advocating for reforms, including meeting with lawmakers to address these challenges and promote long-term sustainability in the sport. You know what brings about long-term sustainability in the sport? People watching the games. And people are watching the games. There's more games that people are watching. Trust me, they're not worried about sustainability in this. The players are getting paid, and they're not going to ever roll that stuff back. The grumpy old coach can be as upset about that as he wants. At the end of the day, he is now just going to be a commentator, so there we go.
Number 6.
After day one of the Trump administration brought us fake news of Elon Musk being a Nazi because he raised his arms during a speech, the dumbest people in America are now pretending they believe that and that there are some false allegations they need to get into, and you should take them seriously because they never say anything false and stupid. So the false domestic violence allegations against Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense nominee, right now we are watching a Brett Kavanaugh situation develop, and it's going to probably end exactly the same with failure. The alleged victim, Samantha Hegseth, Hegseth's second wife, told NBC News, quote, "I do not believe your information to be accurate," end quote. But the media is running with it anyway. Even on my own radio station, Fox News didn't even mention that Samantha Hegseth was like, yeah, this is garbage. That's a problem. It's a real problem here, but the freakouts will continue.
Number 5.
Speaking of freakouts, during the National Cathedral inaugural prayer service, a prayer service for the direction of the country, a priest, a bishop, Marianne Edgar Bood, urged compassion for LGBTQ children and illegal immigrants. The LGBTQ side of that, of course, was a suggestion that they're in fear of their lives. Why? I have absolutely no idea. The only people that LGBTQ people have to be afraid of is themselves. That's it. There's backlash coming from the right on this. United States Senator Tommy Tuberville and others point out that this is unacceptable stuff, while others pretended the takedown matter. Tuberville criticized her comments on social media, calling the support for trans children a form of child abuse and applauding Trump's executive order defining only 2 genders. And Tuberville's right on this. He's absolutely correct. This stuff is nuts, but again, it will continue.
Number 4.
But the act of governing is underway and change is afoot. This is very, very, very good. You can look at Secretary of State Marco Rubio, unanimously confirmed. You have that happening. But the Laken Riley Act, a landmark immigration enforcement bill, has passed the United States Senate with bipartisan support in a 64-35 vote that now heads to the House for a final decision. This was obviously sponsored by Alabama United States Senator Katie Britt of Montgomery. The act mandates the detention of illegal immigrants who commit specific crimes and allows states to take action against federal officials who fail to enforce immigration laws. If passed, it will become the first bill signed by President Donald Trump honoring Laken Riley, a young woman tragically killed by an illegal immigrant. So it has passed the United States Senate. Bipartisan support. They're ready to go, and that's a great bill.
Number 3.
President Donald Trump's aggressive stance on immigration policy continues. This includes the targeting, ready for this? The targeting, and that's how they're framing this, of schools and churches where illegal immigrants have hid and claimed sanctuary. The Trump administration says, nah, brah, we're not going to allow that. If you're going to hide inside a church, we're going to come get you. So those who are suggesting that these should be sanctuaries for criminals to hide, they said no. Also, schools, I guess, are supposed to be able to be used by illegal immigrants to hide from the police as well. Oh, can't go into a school and arrest somebody. No, bullcrap. You can and you should. There are lawsuits being filed against his end of birthright citizenship, so we're going to have a fight about that. I'm all for it. Keep in mind, for the first 100 years of the 14th Amendment, nobody thought birthright citizenship was a thing. An activist judge changed it. It's time to change it back.
Number 2.
It's cold in every part of Alabama, okay? It is very cold in Alabama. It's so cold that Mobile broke its 130-year-old all-time snow record, and that right there is cold. All that, you got to worry about that. You got that Gulf of America snow effect you got to worry about. That's happening. I just wanted to say Gulf of America. 7.5 inches of snow there reported by the National Weather Service, surpassing the previous record of 6 inches from 1895. Now, the city also sets a new one-day snowfall record with treacherous conditions impacting travel and prompting a winter storm warning through Wednesday morning. So that's happening. Here we go. As the storm exits, bitterly cold temperatures between 10 and 15 degrees with wind chills as low as 0 are expected, posing life-threatening risks for people and animals outdoors. So the entire state is cold. The southern part of the state, very, very, very cold, colder than the rest.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
I mentioned this yesterday, and I will mention this again. Welcome back to some listeners to this program. And I don't say that facetiously. I say that because I know that there were listeners of this program that were convicted during the Capitol riots or for the Capitol riots. So 22 Alabama residents have been pardoned on President Donald Trump's first full day in office. They were convicted for their roles in the January 6th Capitol riots, sparking praise and silly complaints that, you can't believe you're letting these people who attacked America out. Among those pardoned were Russell Dan Alford, a body shop owner who decried his conviction as, quote, a Broadway play. Caleb Dillard, a Marine veteran who expressed gratitude for regaining his rights despite serving time. The pardons also included Joshua James, an Oath Keepers leader, and Dylan Harrington, who faced additional unrelated charges, underscoring the varied and contentious legacy of the Capitol riot participants. There is no contentious legacy here at all. They involved themselves in something very stupid, okay? And you can tell me it was a left-wing plot. It was an FBI plot. There were agitators. There were all these other things. Whatever you want to believe, that's fine. They still participated in a very stupid situation that took their freedom away. I'm fine with the pardons. I wish they would have been more targeted. The Fraternal Order of Police and others have spoke out against this. The people who attack cops, they also criticize Biden because he let people out who have killed cops. There's a lot of stuff here to be critical of on these pardons, but this is the pendulum swinging back the other way. If you use the justice system politically, it will be used politically given the opportunity to try to right that. That's what's happened here. Okay? And I'm sorry, you can be mad about this if you want. That's a completely fair thing to do. But none of this would have happened had Biden not overreacted in the first place. And that's the truth. And you can be mad about that. That is your choice. But none of this would have happened had they not used the justice system in the way that they did to punish everyone they already disagreed with. That's what they did. That's why we had this problem. You could not like it. That's fair. But at this particular point in time, I've got to remind you, this is the fault. Right here, right now, this is the fault of our friends on the left for doing this. Okay? If you don't like that, tough. Okay? I got to tell you, it didn't have to happen this way. This was a choice made by the Biden administration. The blowback is real, though, and it's pretty unfortunate the way this whole thing has gone down. But anyway, those pardons are in place. Welcome back some into the listening audience. I'll put it that way. A lot of people don't like that I keep mentioning that, but I'm going to anyway. We'll take a quick time out. We'll continue. If you'd like to weigh in, you can do so. 205-54. Nope, that's wrong. You can weigh in right here on the ScoutPestControl.com WVNN Hot Take text line at 866-494-WVNN. We'll be right back.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.